Sunday afternoon, everyone. This is Corey here with Zero Meter Chasers. Going to give you guys a quick update on what to expect with our wintry system moving in late tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning. What you're seeing right here on the screen, this is the winter weather summary. A lot of this comes from the National Weather Service, but this is just a generalized summary of what our thoughts are and what the National Weather Service's thoughts are, to kind of give you guys a rundown of what to expect. So we are expecting a storm system to bring wintry weather Monday night into Tuesday. Precipitation is going to start off as a mix of rain, freezing rain, and sleet. So there is a chance for some icy precipitation to kind of hit Kentucky as this system moves in. But this is going to change to snow overnight. Not overly concerned about any type of freezing rain or sleet, but just remember that could be a possibility with this system as it moves in. But this is going to change over to snow overnight, Monday night, probably early Tuesday morning, very early Tuesday morning, sometime after midnight. And that's going to be the primary time frame for accumulating snowfall. That's going to be from midnight to around 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. So we have about a 6-hour time frame there. So that's kind of the general summary of what we're expected to see. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Got a little bit of a different streaming setup. Going to try a couple different things. You guys, looks like the comments. I'm looking at the comments. You guys give me some comments. I've got the comments in the chat. I kind of want to get you guys involved a little bit more. You guys are involved with these live videos a lot, and it's a lot of the times it's me reading the comments. So now I've got the comments to show up on the screen, so I might have to kind of tweak that a little bit going forward. So I'm going to give it a test tonight, kind of see how that chat box works here in the live streaming setup. But like I said, I want to get you guys involved because you're already involved so much with these live videos. You guys tune in, you guys want to know the information, you guys want to ask questions, so I want to give you guys throw a little bit more back to you guys. That way you guys can see your comments hit the screen. So I will answer questions as we progress through the video. The first thing I want to jump in and show you guys is I'm going to kind of run through a lot of the data and what the modeling data is kind of showing for Central Kentucky or Kentucky in general as this system moves through. That way you guys can kind of see what the differences are between all the models, what the similarities are, and kind of what we're looking for, or what we're looking at as a team of forecasters and a team of meteorologists. So I will say this, our team here at Zero Meter Chasers have been talking pretty much nonstop over the last 3 days. Chris Evans, he's done a great job updating our blog. You can go to zerometerchasers.com, and that is with a zerometerchasers.com. Chris has been updating that blog, really giving a detailed in-depth analysis of what to expect with this storm. That's what we expect from Chris. He does a great job. But we've been talking as a forecaster, as a forecasting group, and we have a forecast, a snowfall accumulation forecast that we're going to show you here at the end of the broadcast. But I want to run through the data real quick again, so you guys can kind of see what we're looking at and kind of what we're expecting to see. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys here is, let me take a few things off. And our streams are going to get better. I've gotten a lot better equipment. I've been working nonstop over the past 3 days to kind of get this stuff set up. Things are going to get better for sure. So the first thing I'm going to show you here, this is the HRRR model. Now again, if you guys have tuned into my forecast, tuned into my live videos, you guys know I show all these different models. So the HRRR model is a forecast model that we use to kind of show short range possibilities. So this is basically anywhere between 24 to 48 hours. It doesn't go any farther out than 48 hours. So this specializes in short-term weather. So this is what the radar is simulated to look like. So this is just a simulation. It's just the HRRR model's guess of what the radar is going to look like as we progress into tomorrow. So this is at 4 o'clock tomorrow evening. So not expecting any type of wintering impacts during the day tomorrow. Tomorrow will be crystal clear, no impacts. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, into tomorrow evening, we start to see that radar light up a little bit over here in western Kentucky, say the Paducah area. Now, these pinks and purples and blues, this is a snow, freezing rain, sleet mix. Again, that's what we're kind of expecting to see. Freezing rain, sleet kind of mix in at times as this system moves in, but this should transition over to primarily rain across much of central Kentucky. Again, probably going to see a little bit of sleet mixed in with this batch of rain as the system moves in. Could see some freezing rain as well. But the snow is going to stay to the north for the most part, with some snow mixing in. You see some snow mixing in around the Elizabethtown area. This is 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern. So we really don't get any type of activity going until we get into the well past the evening hours. This is well into the night, getting closer to midnight. But the snow at this point stays off to the north and west. But as we get closer to that midnight, here we are at midnight Central Time, midnight Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. We have the colder air is going to be crashing in. It's going to change everything over to a sleet, freezing rain mix, and quickly over to snow. This is going to be a quick transition. It's not going to take very long for this to happen. But we don't really get to that transition here in central Kentucky until around midnight, 1 a.m. You're looking at pretty much right along the I-65 corridor and to the west, changing over around 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. And this is going to be more than likely what the models have shown today. This is going to be a deformation band forming on the backside of this area of low pressure. This area of low pressure is just to the south of Somerset here. On the backside of this area of low pressure, this is where you're going to get some really heavy snowfall. This is what we call the deformation band. This is where you can get some really quick accumulations if the conditions are right. So we're going to keep an eye on that to kind of see how that evolves. But as of right now, that's what it's looking like, and that's what it's showing up here on the HRRR model. So there's some pretty heavy snowfall falling across much of central Kentucky, going into 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And as you get closer to 6 o'clock, which is pretty much daybreak, the snow's moving off to the east. So this is going to be a quick hitting system, about a 6-hour time frame. This is not going to be a big winter storm by no means, where we see 12, 16 hours of snowfall. You're looking at about a 6-hour window, 6 hours or less. What you get in 6 hours is what you get. So there's going to be some winners, there's going to be some losers, there's going to be some surprises. But the HRRR model is snow friendly for sure. This is the snowfall accumulation map. Now, I made a status yesterday. There's different weather pages out there that will post just a straight up accumulation map just like this. So if you take this, the HRRR model, the accumulation map shows pretty good snowfall amounts. We're looking at 3 inches, but basically a 2 to 3 inch snowfall across much of Kentucky. But what these maps don't take into account is the melting. There's going to be melting. The snow's going to compact. You don't know the ratios. There's all kinds of different scenarios and obstacles that actually take that snowfall rate down. So this is a much better judgment of what's actually going to accumulate, and this is the snow depth. Now, it doesn't look as juicy as the other map I showed, but it still shows a general 1 to 2 inches and some isolated 3-inch amounts closer to the Western Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways and to the north, specifically as you get closer up into Cincinnati. But for much of central Kentucky, it's shown a general 1 to 2 inches, which for an early system snowstorm, or I wouldn't really say snowstorm, but for an early season winter system, a general 1 to 2 inches is a pretty good snowfall here in central Kentucky, and that is what the HRRR model is showing. So again, that is one that we use in the short range. We are in the short range now. We trust this model pretty good, honestly. I feel very confident that this is something that could absolutely verify. So the RAP model, again, is another model that we use for short-term forecasting. So I'm showing you both short-term forecast here. Pretty much same thing as the HRRR model. It has your rain, snow, freezing rain, sleet mix moving in tomorrow evening. It's a little bit farther south. It's showing us a little bit more snow pretty much right along the Western Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways and to the north. But then as this system progresses to the east, you see your area of low pressure system is sitting here over eastern Kentucky. As it progresses to the east, you see this deformation band form here in central Kentucky, and that rotates through. This is some pretty heavy snowfall it's showing right here on the latest modeling. And these are all the newest models, by the way. And then that deformation band moves off to the east relatively quickly. RAP snow model. Again, this is snow. This is total snowfall. Still nothing crazy, but still showing a general 1 to 2 inches. The higher amounts right along the Ohio River. But again, nothing crazy, but still showing a 1 to 2 inches. So now we're going to look at the GFS model. And real quickly, let me change this where you can get a little bit better view of Kentucky here. Let this load up. This is the newest model here. So this is the GFS model. Let me bring it back. So again, about the same scenario as the HRRR and the RAP model, which was our two short-term models. Same thing, rain, snow, freezing rain mix moving in, changing over to a little bit of rain, mainly across the southern half of Kentucky. Northern half keeps that wintry mix. And then quickly, as that area of low pressure moves off to the east, cold air is going to crash in, changes everything over to snow relatively quickly. This is a heavy deformation band. This pinks that you're seeing here, that's not freezing rain or sleet. That's heavy snow is what the GFS is showing on the latest update here. And it pushes out relatively quickly. Again, about a 6-hour time frame here. GFS model. Again, let me switch it over here to Kentucky. That way we can get a little bit better here. A little bit better snowfall. This is total snowfall. Again, pretty much the same thing. You're looking at a general 1 to 2 inches, and then you get a heavier band right along the Ohio River, basically north of Elizabethtown up to Louisville, up to Cincinnati. It's throwing a 4, possibly even 5-inch amounts. But we're going to look at snow depth. It really takes it down because there is going to be a little bit of melting, but still shows a general 1 inch, closer to 2 inches as you get closer to the Ohio River. We're going to look at the NAM model. This is the last model I'm going to show you. I'm not going to bog you guys down with every single model we got. But this is the NAM model. Again, nothing really different. It might be just a little bit warmer. But this is 3 a.m. and it hasn't changed us over to snow. And this is 3 a.m. And then it's basically gone. So the NAM model's not as excited about snow as some of the other ones are. Let me get in here just a little bit closer. So the NAM model, again, it shows the higher amounts right along the West Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways and to the north. Anything to the south of that's not really showing. Let me look at I hadn't looked at, so here's the high res. So if we're going to look at a NAM model, I probably prefer the high res NAM, and it's basically agreeing with our other models here. So that's definitely I guess good to see from a forecasting standpoint. We'll look at the snow depth. Nothing crazy on snow depth. It's basically showing a general 1 inch for much of the state. The actual snowfall accumulation showing a 1 to 2. So, take it for what it's worth. Probably about an inch is what the NAM's showing. So regardless of what we're looking at here, a lot of the data is showing a general 1 to 2 inches. So with that being said, and this map's not perfect, I couldn't even get to fit the entire screen, so just bear with me a little bit on this. Our maps are going to get better. We just got to find, I've got to find a better app to play with some of these maps with and make them look a little bit more professional. But this is what we whipped up this afternoon. Honestly, this forecast map here is not even an hour old. Our forecasting team got together and we kind of put this together. So basically, South Central Kentucky, or the southern half of Kentucky, and over into Western Kentucky, we're probably expecting a dusting to an inch. The warmer air is going to be a problem for that part of the state, and by the time the colder air crashes in, the precipitation is going to be moving out in Western Kentucky, so there's not a lot of time for accumulation over here in Western Kentucky. And by the time that colder air crashes in over here for the southern part of Kentucky and parts of eastern Kentucky, the precipitation is going to be moving out as well. So not a lot of time for accumulation in those necks of the woods. You have your secondary tier here, which is going to be much of central Kentucky. So this is basically going to come over basically from Litchfield over into Mumfordville, Greensburg, Campbellsville, Columbia, over to Liberty, and then off into portions of eastern Kentucky. We're looking at a general 1 to 2 inches. If we get a deformation band, we could see some isolated amounts around 3 inches. And then you got your higher tier, which is going to be right along the Bluegrass Parkway in the Bluegrass region of Kentucky. So basically from Elizabethtown over to Bardstown, Springfield, up to Lexington, this area, Bluegrass region, we're forecasting a 2 to 4 inch amount. We think there's going to be enough precipitation still in the area when that colder air crashes in, along with the heavier deformation band for sure a 2-inch snowfall all the way up to 4 inches. So that's kind of what the forecasting team has come up with this afternoon. And I feel pretty confident about this map, to be honest with you. So for my Greene-Taylor County, surrounding county areas, it looks like general 1 to 2 inches. Even though the parts of Metcalfe County, southern Adair, Barron County, over into Warren, could those areas get 2 inches? It's possible. Probably closer to an inch, dusting to an inch in those areas. But we're watching that deformation band. If we get that deformation band to come in, we might have to update these amounts and increase them just a little bit. So we're going to be watching that data as we progress into tonight, into tomorrow. We'll have a better snow map for you, hopefully more professional. We'll definitely look into that. But for the time being, this will be what you guys will get. So we're still getting better with the broadcasting. We're getting some better setups. We've got the chat box in here. So if you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask. So appreciate all you guys tuning in. I'll stay live here for, 10, 20 minutes. I'll answer y'all's questions. On this beautiful, been a beautiful day outside. It's been cold though. Very, very cold. See what the temperatures are right now. Looks like around 30 degrees is what our current temperatures is across much of central Kentucky. So around 30 or into the upper 20s. So yeah, very, very cold out there. Not been a good day to be outside. Robin, I see your comment there. Do I think school will close on Tuesday? I definitely think there will be some school closures for sure. It's hard to say who's going to close and who's not going to close. It really just depends on, who gets the higher amounts. But I definitely think we could have some school closures on Tuesday. Amber, this is for Tuesday morning. Late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Donnie. Sarah wants to know what the time frame is for Campbellsville and Lebanon. This is going to be between midnight and 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. Midnight to 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. See Mr. Ethan Tharp going in there? Yes, sir. Go Seahawks. Me and Ethan are Seahawks fans. So got another big win today. It's good watching that for a little bit. I didn't get to watch it much. I was in here forecasting, getting ready for the live stream. Andrew wants to know about Brownsville. Looks like a general 1 to 2 inches, isolated 3-inch amounts there, Donnie. Page in Bullock County, same time frame. Probably a little bit earlier in Bullock County. Probably looking as soon as 10 o'clock, probably around 10 o'clock Eastern time, tomorrow evening, all the way through around 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that compliment there. Thank you, Jeanette. Appreciate that. Leanne, I don't know if they'll spray, if they'll put any of the brine on the roadways. I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure. That's a Department of Highways question, and I do not know. Russell Springs, yeah, probably same as Columbia, which I kind of think Adair County and Russell Springs is kind of on that line there of probably 1 to 2 inches. Um, but there's a potential for higher amounts there in Adair and Russell County, depending on that deformation band. If we get a deformation band, probably we'll get closer to 2 inches there. Mike, the weather tomorrow evening, probably I'll pull up the latest HRRR Futurecast here. So weather tomorrow evening, Mike wants to know. So tomorrow, this is simulated radar here. So this is 12 o'clock tomorrow. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Probably not really anything happening at all until probably sunset or later. Probably closer to 8, 9 o'clock here in central Kentucky. So nothing really crazy tomorrow afternoon, Mike. It's going to be well into tomorrow evening, probably closer to midnight. So this is 10 o'clock here. So I'd say 9 or 10 o'clock, Mike, is when things really get ramped up. But as far as wintry precipitation, we're not going to have to worry about anything until after midnight, more than likely. Shauna Springfield, probably looking at closer to that 2 to 4 inch amount. Again, time frame's about the same for everybody. So if you're asking for a specific time frame for your county, the time frame's the same for everybody. It's going to be around midnight all the way through 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. Midnight to 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. Josh Judd, Greensburg Police Chief. Me and Josh made a bet last year that if it snowed, I forgot what the bet was, Josh. I think if it snowed 8 inches, me and Josh was going to sled down the roadway in front of the police department. For those of you that don't live in Greensburg or know what we're talking about, there's a very large hill right in front of the PD, and if you get some momentum, you're gonna sled pretty far. And I think the bet was 8 inches. I'm not 100% sure, and I think we got 4, if that. It may have been 3.5. And me and Josh never did do it, probably because we had worked our hind ends off for 24 hours straight, probably. Josh probably longer. And it was about 14 degrees, and I don't think neither one of us wanted to mess with that. We're getting too old. But me and Josh still do have a bet. If we get that much snow, we're going sledding. So we'll see what the winter unfolds for us here. Appreciate you, Holly. Stephen Owensboro looks like probably around 1 to 2 inches. 1 to 2 inches. Yes, Letitia. Yes, that 2 to 4 inches is for the Lexington area. That is correct. In Campbellsville, snow forecast right now is 1 to 2 inches isolated 3-inch amounts. 1 to 2 inches isolated 3-inch amounts. Haley, don't start. Hello, Tristan. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And I also want to mention one more thing. The National Weather Service has not issued a winter weather advisory yet. That is coming. That is coming, I would say, probably tomorrow morning. I expected it to be this afternoon. The forecasting team here at Zero Meter Chasers also expected it to be this afternoon. They wanted to hold off on it because there is still some, questions in the modeling of where the highest snowfall accumulations is going to, pop up. But in our opinion, I personally think much of the state will be under winter weather advisory, even all the way down to the Tennessee border. I think this is a high impact event. We're going to be going into rush hour Tuesday morning, so I think a lot of Kentucky is going to be under that winter weather advisory. I think there's going to be different levels of it, though. I think there'll be one winter weather advisory up here towards the Bluegrass region. It's kind of going to highlight that 2 to 4 inch amounts, 2 to 3 inch amounts, however they want to do it. But I think that's going to be the higher area right now. And there's probably going to be a secondary winter weather advisory of a 1 to 2 inch. So I think there'll be 2 different winter weather advisories. I don't think they'll break it up into 3. And they may not issue a winter weather advisory for the whole state. They may just issue 2 with those 2 specific advisories that I just talked about. 1 advisory for 2 to 4, 1 advisory for probably 1 to 3, but that will happen probably tomorrow morning. Atlanta, this will be happening again, same time frame for everybody. The whole state is going to be from midnight to 6 a.m. Midnight to 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. That's going to be the best time frame for accumulating snowfall. Now, there's a chance that we change over to snowfall a couple hours before that. Best time frame is still between 12 and midnight early Tuesday morning. Amanda, yes, there is a lot of things that could change with the modeling and the data. So we definitely could see this snowfall shift south a little bit and these amounts increase. There's also a chance that this system moves north just a little bit. It's not really a determination of if the system moves north or south. It really is a determination on how warm we get tomorrow and how fast that colder air comes in. That's really what we're looking at. As far as the track, the track's really not going to determine a whole lot. It's really how warm are we going to get, how much warm air is going to come in, and how fast is that colder air going to come in behind it, and how much moisture is there going to be left behind it. Is there enough for a defined deformation band? So that's kind of what we're looking at. If we're a little bit warmer, we stay. If it takes longer for us to transition over to snow, accumulations are going to be smaller. It's going to be less. But if we transition over to snow a little bit quicker, and that deformation band forms, our snow amounts are going to be higher. So it really just depends on how that evolves. We really not going to know that until we get to a little bit closer. But the snowfall map you guys see here is a pretty good determination of what to expect Tuesday morning, anywhere between noon all the way to 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. Robert, yes, there probably will be a little bit of ice, sleet, freezing rain mix. Probably not going to be looking at anything significant to cause any type of issues, but just be aware if you guys hear some sleet pellets or hear it raining and it's 32 degrees. That's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just that transition period as we're transitioning over to snow. The temperature profiles in the upper atmosphere will probably be able to support some sleet and freezing rain with that transition. Yeah, too soon to tell about Friday there. Too soon to tell. Thank you, Tammy. Appreciate that. Thank you, Tristan. I'll check that out here in just a second. So, all right, I think that's all I have for you guys this afternoon, or this evening, I guess. It's 7:34 Central, 8:34 Eastern. Again, this is your latest snowfall accumulation forecast. We will keep tabs on this, and we will get you guys some more updates as we progress into tonight and into tomorrow. So you guys stay tuned to my Facebook page or the Zero Meter Chaser Facebook page, Twitter, wherever you guys get your information from. Our team will be up probably all night checking out the latest information and throwing out updates as needed, including myself. We'll do another live tomorrow for sure as we get, I will probably be getting into the real specifics around this time tomorrow. So we'll probably have several lives tomorrow, to be honest with you. So I'll keep you guys updated with that. I'm trying to think. I think there was something else I was going to mention, but I can't think. But, yeah. I'm thinking. I know there was something else I was going to mention. But it's not coming to me, so it must not be too important. But Thank you guys for tuning in this evening. Again, we'll keep you guys updated as we progress a little bit closer to this system, our first true winter system of the year. So you guys enjoy your Sunday night, and I'll talk to you soon.